So I am going to show you the settings that I have on my Panasonic UB820 for watching Blu-rays. Wife wanted to have this incredible movie playing in the background while we were wrapping presents, so of course I got to check all the settings. Here's the Panasonic UB820 down here on the shelf. And here is an uncensored look at what else is on the shelves down here. Anyway, so the reason I wanted to show this is because with my Panasonic UB820 videos, which I have a handful of now, a lot of people want to know how it handles upscaling Blu-rays and what settings to put on the player for Blu-rays. So here we go. So right now I have the UB820 sending one HDMI with just video to the TV, which is a professionally calibrated Sony 85-inch X950H. That Value Electronics in New York professionally calibrated for me. So when I asked them what to do with all the settings, they largely said leave it alone because the TV is calibrated. So when you are watching a Blu-ray, you can push the option button and you get the playback menu. So if you just go into the first one, obviously soundtrack, that's a you question. The playback information window, that's the same as this button right there, playback info. So you can just see that it's a 1080p 24 frames per second source and is being upconverted. So let's go back into the options menu. By the way, if you're wondering what this remote is, this is just the Amazon cheap replacement remote for the UB820. It's like off-brand. This is the original remote, so you still have the option button and the playback button, playback info buttons all the way up here. But I much prefer this one for the placement of the buttons and for the backlight. So back to the settings. So we looked at that playback info. And that's pretty much it for that top layer. So we're going to go on the left side down to the video settings. You see it says Blu-ray disc right here at the top. So display, I have it set to normal. And the reason for that is because the other choice is projector. See that? So no need to have that on anything else. Picture type, same thing I have as normal, even though there's cinema, true cinema, right? Like there's all these things, but like I said, the TV is calibrated, so I don't need to bother with those settings. I leave it on normal to try to send the raw image to the TV. Luminance adjustment, leave it alone. Color adjustment, leave it alone. Again, my goal is to get the raw picture to the TV. Sharpness, absolutely no edge correction on that. Noise reduction, same story. There's 3 kinds of noise reduction. You turn them all off. Bandwidth limitation, truth be told, I don't know what this is, but these are all off. Progressive, leave it on auto. Does that make sense? Okay, and then going to the, I'm pushing left. I'm supposed to be pushing back. So I'm pushing left. I'm supposed to be pushing return. And it's trying to go through these different profiles up there. So let's hit the return button to get back to that left side. Go down. Here we go. Sound effects. I'm going to leave that off because I don't want any of those going on. Same story. I want to send the raw sound to the soundbar, which can decode Dolby Atmos and DTS:X. So we leave that alone. Sound frequency. This is the better option. Dialogue enhancer, same thing. I just want to let the pure audio go to the soundbar that can decode those higher audios like the Atmos and the DTS:X, which obviously this is not on this movie, but that's why I have these things all set off. High clarity sound, I think this just tries to make the audio better by shutting down some things while you're watching a movie. I don't 100% understand that one, but I leave it just like that. Let me know if you have an opinion on the high clarity sound. Now, this is all of the stuff that comes up while watching a Blu-ray, but if I want to get into like the normal settings of the player, I'm going to go to the top menu. And this is going to get into, nope, that's the menu. I'm going to push stop. Notice once it's stopped and I push that option button, you don't really have like your choices. Well, you still have them there. Okay, so I pushed home to get back to this menu. So videos would be where I would go if I wanted to have the disc go back on. So let's go over to setup real quick. Player settings. Okay, so just real quick, we've got auto there, audio only on the other HDMI. Always leave Dolby Vision on so that it can switch back and forth. Let's look at advanced. Here we go. Yeah, we want that on 12-bit priority. Middle or high luminance, that's the kind of TV that I have, but these are your other choices. And there you go. Let's hit back, go down to video on that left side menu. Leave that alone. Audio. Don't want any dynamic range compression right now. And let's see. Yeah, audio delay, I've actually had to address, put this on some movies, and you just basically experiment with it until you're happy with it. So Groundhog Day was actually the movie on 4K that I had to do that. Okay, let's go system, display settings. Yeah, just got this stuff. Okay, and then just FYI, my current firmware is 182. So let me know which firmware you have. This is the not region-free one, by the way. This is just the region A. But if you see my other videos, you can see that I have a way to get around some region lock stuff. I just have a playlist of 4K player related stuff. So if you want to look at that on this player. Okay. So those are my settings on the Panasonic UB820 when watching a normal Blu-ray. Let me know if there's any other settings you want to see. I also have another UB820 on an OLED TV, so the settings on there are actually a little bit different. So let me know if you have any questions or what settings you have on yours, or if you disagree with some that I have, because I've had people in the comments leave really helpful suggestions on the settings, so appreciate that. Anyway, see you on the next one. Bye.